What's up, guys? How are you? It's been a while since I've done one of these. I think it's been about like 3 weeks or so. My voice is still messed up. um, I, I'm starting to think it's definitely allergies, and I think I'm gonna have to get shots. It is what it is. I'm going back to the doctor. I think Monday. This is my fourth or fifth time going back to the doctor. And they've tried to rule out everything from viral infection, bronchitis, and we've tried all different types of things. And I think the last thing is allergy shots. Um, so yeah, hopefully I don't sound completely like crap, but I didn't want to continue not having a show. And then next week is PRI. If anybody is going to PRI, please let me know. Would love to say hi, meet up with you, or whatever. Um, and We might be doing a show from PRI. Alyssa, who's usually my co-host, couldn't be here tonight because she's getting ready for PRI. Um, so, um, yeah, basically, we were talking about doing something at the show live. Um, we're still working out the details, but we'll let you guys know what we come up with. Um, hey, Alan, what's going on? How are you? I'm going to bring my guest on. But before I do, remember, guys, 660 marketing right now is the time to secure your sponsorships for next season. So if you don't know where to start, um, don't know where to begin with sponsorships, hit me up directly. I provide free consultations, doesn't cost you anything. We can talk for a half hour, an hour, however long you need, and I can try to steer you in the right direction. We end up working together, that's great. If we don't, that's fine too. But we do everything marketing wise from A to Z, whether that's graphic design, web design, SEO, social media management. We do sponsorship hunting, um, everything marketing wise for your race team or race organization. So hit me up if you want a free consultation, and I'll give you some tips, some free tips. And if it works out for you, then great. I'm always willing to give back to the community, racing community. Um, but again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Nick, no, I'm not sick. It's an allergy thing. Uh, yeah, my niece punched me in the throat. It's an allergy thing, and it's been happening for 3 months now, so it sucks. But without further ado, what's going on, Ricky? How are you?
Hey, what's going on? How are you? You still sound like shit.
Yeah, man, it sucks. And like some days are better than others, that's for sure. But like during the day in the morning, I sound fine. And then as the day goes on, it gets worse and worse. And like,
What are the allergies coming from? Like I know for me during the day, when I'm out at work, I'm out in the field most of the time. I'm a manager, but I'm out in the field a lot of the times, and my eyes are perfect. I feel great. I don't have any problems.
yeah,
I come home to my two little fur mongoloids, right? That my son had to have, a cat and a dog, and I think I'm allergic, so my eyes start to bother me. My voice gets a little crackly, so I know that mine's definitely the allergies from the animals that my son had to have.
I
So,
think I think mine's from animals as well.
you want a Frenchie and a cat?
I already have 3 dogs and a cat.
Mm. Yeah,
I think I think my body was like, F you, like, what are you doing?
I told my son, we had, my older kids, we had animals when they were younger. And I told my little one, I said, look, no animals. I'm too OCD. My house is too clean. And now I have a cat and a dog. So,
What are you sipping on?
this is Crown Blackberry with Sprite and some lime juice. It's amazing. It's actually kind of deadly. So,
I want to show you something.
mm, there you go. Yeah, look, it's over there on my shelf. So it's supposedly a seasonal flavor, but they still have it down here, so I grab it up. I'm not a big drinker, but I've kind of fell in love with this little combination, and it's you get home from a long day dealing with all the stuff at work, and you have a little cocktail that kind of takes the edge off, you know.
Yeah, well, that's my first time trying that, after I saw your post.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think?
so oh, yeah, it's really good.
It's kind of deadly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it goes down like almost like a like a different flavored Sprite or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't. You
Yeah,
don't taste that hard alcohol. You don't get that kind of that kick, but it's just so smooth. And I my body's very weird. I don't do a lot. I don't do a lot. I don't do drugs, smoke, anything like that. So my body reacts funny to different things. No headache, no hangover. No, I'm not promoting drinking, but it's just it's a very good cocktail to say the least.
hey, drinking is good as long as you don't overdo it. Like,
Oh no, no. I'll have maybe one, maybe two, and that's it. It's
yeah,
maybe once or twice a week. So
yeah. I usually have like one a night.
yeah, well, you know what? I probably need at least one a night. Building this new car and dealing with all the stuff going on with life, it does definitely take the edge off.
Man, you have no idea. You have no idea
Well,
the hell I'm going through with this new car.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
you and I are pretty close. We talk often, and yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. So
what's going on with yours? So, for people that don't know you, you're building pretty much the same, um, body
hmm
chassis. Is yours a 25-1 chassis?
yeah, I don't know if it's 25 one or three. I got to find out. Don't I sound kind of ignorant right now, but I believe I'll find out.
It's probably a 25-1.
I think so. I gotta look and make sure it's got to be recertified.
Yeah. But same chassis, pretty much same body.
Yep, yep.
Obviously, the internals are a little different. So, why don't you explain to everybody what you're building for next year and what your racing plans are for next year?
So I mean, everyone that knows us knows that we ran with you guys in the 275s. And the Mustang is a great car. I think we just got to the point where it was too fast for what the car was built for originally. And we surpassed that many times in the last 2 or 3 years. And we wanted to be a little more competitive. So I love the Mustang. Anybody knows me, you know me. Those who've been in the track with us a bunch of times. I love that car. It's my pride and joy. It's just not quite the car that we need to be competitive and go run some of the 484 or small block boosts, the
Yeah.
Carolina no time stuff. Even like locally around here, we were very competitive. But we had to, I say we, me, my father, the team, you were there a lot of times with us this year because your car was being built. I mean, we had to outdrive people to win. We didn't always have the faster car.
Yep.
But reaction time was always on my side this year, and the car was incredibly consistent and it was fast. It just isn't fast enough to go down there and run with the Mike Dents and those guys, that the TKM Vendetta and stuff like that. So we just, my father decided to buy this big tire car, which is a 1967 Chevy 2 Nova.
Uh,
Um, Not realizing uh, how much work and how much money it is to take a big tire. And you see people all the time, Justin Swanstrom and those guys, take their car and go from big tire to small tire. Well, it's not just as easy as you see on the internet or on Facebook when Justin does it. So
right.
Justin's got a lot more capital than we have, and he's got it figured out. But taking a car from that style car to a small tire car is very expensive.
Well, even
So
I was watching a recent video because I follow Justin on his
mhm.
YouTube channel, right? And I was watching one of his recent videos, and his dad tunes his cars,
Yeah, big
and his
country.
dad was getting pissed at Justin. He's like, I'm tired, kind of like saying like tired of him switching these cars back and forth. He's like, because I can't tune like this. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
what works for a small tire doesn't work for a big tire, and vice versa. And
And
uh,
that's what people don't realize is,
yeah,
a lot of people don't, a lot of fans, the people that aren't heavily in the drag racing like we are, they don't realize the difference in the big tires, the floppies, and the small tire. It's not just so much, the tuning of the motor. It's, 100% the chassis, the
yeah,
chassis, the way the car reacts. And
yeah.
yeah.
But Scotty Wills, what's going on, man? Um,
So,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
So my father, he decided that he got he got a pretty good deal on the car. The guy that was building the car was building to be like a drag and drop big tire car. And then we just started, my dad wanted to keep it big tire. My dad, his roots are big tire. He's
Yeah.
had pro mods. We've had funny cars. We've had top dragsters. We've had top sportsmens. We've had X275s. But his kind of roots are the big tires, and he wanted to keep it big tire. And I said, Dad, there's just not enough. I don't want to do the big tire mania stuff. There's reasons for that. I'm not bad mouthing that. They do a good job with that. I'm a small tire guy, right? Just
Yeah.
like you are, Hart and Jared and everybody else that's in our in our realm of people that run this series. So we dug into it, man. We started realizing how hard it is. I mean, just trying to find it's got a rear that's built for big tires. We had to find someone to make special custom wheels for small tires, changing shocks, changing four links, changing bars. It just we spent so much money just in the rear end suspension of that car alone to switch it over.
Yeah.
So
What's
the
up, Timmy?
plan is, to compete with some of the faster guys, the Patriot and the Panda and those guys like that, the Lewis Martinez with the new car and some of those guys, are we going to be the fastest? No. Are we going to have the best stuff? No. But I do believe we'll be a lot more competitive in what we want to do. The
Well,
car,
you'll always have a place to race too, especially still being small block.
yeah,
You'll have a place to race. Like not like me, I can't race with the 484 guys or
no,
you guys anymore. Unless it's an unlimited,
or an
you
outlaw.
know,
That's kind of an
outlaw. Yeah,
outlaw. Yeah.
exactly. So, but it seems like small block boost, is coming back. Things like that. There's, Lance is doing stuff down
Mm.
south. Obviously Mike
Mike
Hill,
Hill, yep.
you know, and trust me, like, we can get into it a little bit later, but I'm already regretting going Hemi. So, but yeah,
Well, the one good thing about that, Lewis, is that motor that you have is always very easily to sell. You can sell that
yeah.
motor pretty quickly and go right back to the LS space.
But it's
It
like, do
takes,
I really want to put in the money and the work to go back? You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I mean I get it. It's kind of double-edged sword. You have people like Billy Gordon who is an incredible help to our team, along with Jared and those guys and Eric Golden. And Billy had a 4.9 Noonan, and he can only race certain places. Well, guess what Billy Gordon has done? He's gone back to small block boost.
Right.
So, and that's because he wants to be able to race, everywhere he possibly can. You know.
Does he have an LS or a small block Chevy?
I don't know if he wants me to tell people.
Okay.
I'll just say it's small block.
Okay.
Uh, and one of the reasons being is because of the avenue of where he can race and where he can't race. And the other is, and you and I have talked about this many times on the telephone because we're pretty good friends. Is the Hemis are hard. They're hard. They make power. You got to run them with their tongue hung out. There are a lot of maintenance. There are a lot of work, and if you don't have a team with you,
Yeah.
it's difficult. And Billy's a self kind of a I'm saying self-made is not the right word. He's self-efficient.
Yeah.
Billy does everything.
Yeah.
And I wish I had the talent that Billy Gordon has. I mean, he builds, he tunes, he does everything. I mean, the only thing Billy doesn't do is he doesn't paint. And he probably can do that. Like maybe he just doesn't want to paint.
Right.
But you look at someone like Billy Gordon who can run with the best of the best, and he does it all himself, which is another subject you and I should probably get into is shops and monopolization and stuff like that. I mean, I don't have the talent that Billy has to do all that stuff. I wish I did. So we have to outsource a lot of what we do. Do we do a lot of the physical work, like pulling the motor out and pulling the trans out and put the yeah, we do all that, but we're not fabricators. I mean, we dig fucking ditches and put pipe in the ground and build bridges.
Right.
So we have to rely on other people to help us build this new car. And it's been a fun road. It's been a fun
I
road.
sense some sarcasm.
Well, yeah, a little bit. I mean, we've had if people know us at all and follow us at all, we had a pretty competitive car last year. We bought the motor out of your car, and the original motor that we bought from you was really we call it the peanut, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a small little motor. It's a hydraulic roller, and I tell everybody all the time like this is my favorite motor we've ever had. Out of all the shit that the Wilson boys have had, by far my favorite motor. Now we had some issues Not the motor's fault. So I'm going to be very clear and very transparent when I talk about this. And if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, we had some issues throughout last year, and it started with our bigger motor. We had a 480 cubic inch LS that made tons of power and great combination. We blew that thing in half. We had a shitty block in it. It was an RHS block. Blew it in half. I mean, literally made it look like Pac-Man. So we were in trouble. I had a race coming up.
Hmm.
You had an opportunity to grab something that you really wanted, which was the Hemi.
Right.
And you called me and said, "Hey, I know the predicament you're in. I'll sell you my motor." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So we bought it, and the motor was great. But we abused the motor because we had some electrical issues that kept having the car lose sync. And if anybody knows anything about racing or motors or combinations, when you lose sync in a car, it is violent. And we lost sync in that car, crank signal and sync in it. Eric will tell you, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, 14 times. When it does that, it just beats the piss out of it.
Yeah.
So we think we broke the crank because of that. Not the motor's fault, not the original builder's fault. So we broke the crank. We yanked it back out. We sent it back to the original builder out west, Midwest. Um, Spent the money. He upgraded things supposedly. Put new pistons in it, new camshaft, new heads. Went through the whole motor. And this is a motor. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Lewis. You didn't really have a lot of problems with. It was a pretty solid piece.
Never had an issue with it. The only issue I ever had with it was um I stretched some valves once. Um and on one head, and that was most likely due to bad tuning.
Yeah,
Who would, and not from Eric, the guy I had tuning before Eric. Um and stretched some valves and got the head sent out, got it redone at Slacco's. And when we got it back, it was fine.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And when we
but
and when we pulled this motor out, when we broke the crank, I mean, it was still running when the crank was broke. It actually broke the crank, and we got lucky. We made a pass, and I knew something was wrong, and I started up and drove in the trailer. When we pulled the motor apart, it looked beautiful. I mean, besides it having a broken crank, which I think came from that shock of losing cam sync and crank signal, the motor looked great. So you and I talked, and I said, you know what, this guy built a badass motor. Well, let's send it back out to him. We
right,
sent it back out to him, the new motor, and thousands of dollars later, we were super excited about. We said, look, this car's gonna go even faster. We upgraded, put a better camshaft in it, bigger heads, did what we thought was correct based on what he was telling us to do. I didn't say, hey, you're on a budget of 15,000. Don't
right.
spend any more. Let's cheap it. Tell me what we need to do. You know what we've been. You know how fast we've been. You know the mile an hour. We want to go fast. We need more horsepower. Do what you have to do. The car lasted 2.5 passes.
Yeah,
Two
I
and a
was
half
there.
passes.
I was
Yeah,
there.
you were there. You were there, and
Yep.
it 100% was not a tuning issue. The car was very very conservative. It did go fast. The first pass was this little 330 hit, and it was really fast. Second pass was a full pass. It was still very conservative, went fast, and the third pass the motor let loose.
Yeah.
So
How many pounds of boost was it? It was like 35 or 40 pounds.
yeah, it wasn't even right on 40 pounds, and
Yeah.
we've run 50, 52 in that motor
Yep.
before.
Yep.
So that was very disheartening. So basically, I just took all that money and just threw it down the drain. And when it did that, it destroyed everything. I mean, it destroyed everything. It sent metal through my turbos, sent metal through the intake. It destroyed everything. So that was a pretty big setback for us, money wise. At the time we were still building the Noonan for the new car, and it's just it's tough. You come to find out that builder, it was actually it was 100% on him. He put a set of pistons in the car that couldn't handle the horsepower, and it pulled the wrist pin right out of the bottom of the piston. So, not sure what the engine builder was thinking or what was going on, but he cost us and our family a lot of money. And
Didn't
it's
he?
not just
Didn't he admit the Pistons were bad,
um
or they were the wrong? Not bad, but the wrong ones.
I in a roundabout way, yes, not in writing. Originally he said, "Oh, I think we found the limit to the rods," which I'm like, "No, it wasn't the rod. It pulled the wrist pin out of the piston. The
Yeah.
rods were 100% fine." So he made me an offer, try to make it right. I didn't really want to send it back out there, for reasons
Right.
you can understand.
Right.
Um, but yes, I basically I think I got the raw end of the deal, and people say, "Oh, well, it's racing. It's there's no guarantees on motors." Well, 2.5 passes. on something
Yeah.
that I had four other builders look at the Pistons and go, hey man, and a very well-known builder who goes very fast, has won the World Cup, said, dude, I wouldn't put these Pistons in a naturally aspirated motor making 1,000 horsepower.
And you made a post about those Pistons, I remember,
Yeah,
and almost everybody said the same thing. Oh, those Pistons are good for, 1,000 horsepower or 1,200 horsepower or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't
yeah.
even close to 2,000. You know what I mean? So, it's like, I understand like racing is racing and like these companies, put a disclaimer. Oh, if you're going to race, it's your responsibility. We kind of like we wash our hands with it, but I think there you need to take responsibility sometimes if you mess
Expe-
up like that.
Especially on something like that, that's very clear and evident. That's offering just to do the labor for free and give me the parts for cost, which I found out the cost parts. I got Scotty Wheels gave me a lot better deal on the parts than this engine builder gave me. Um, I just feel all around I got screwed, and it's hard. And we work hard for our money. We work hard to be able to do this sport, and it's all, we're not like the YouTubers, the
Yeah,
Cletus McFarlane and them that spend $500,000 on a car and have it built in 3 months. We just don't, we're budget racers, and we love the
right.
sport. And this really hurts, So I think industry wide there's something going on. I'm not really sure what it is. I think there's a lot of people getting screwed over. I think there's a lot of shortcuts. I don't know if it's because the economy's gotten so bad in the past with we won't get into politics with the last 4 to 8 years. I don't know what it is, but we've decided when we're building this new car that we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket, right? Like I said before, we rely heavily on like Jared's help and Billy Gordon's help, and when we're building this car, we're having 6 different shops help us build this car. And people say, why are you doing that? Well, it's because I'm not putting all my eggs in that one basket.
Right.
I'm not dropping my car off to CJRC, which builds amazing stuff, but I'm not giving the car and say, hey, here's my car, and you have an open checkbook. I don't know who can do that besides people like Cletus McFarlane and them that are, or even Fletcher Cox that are extremely wealthy,
Right.
right? So us racers who make up the majority, us racers that don't have this incredible budgets, which make up the majority of racing, should be treated a little better, I think. I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
asking. I don't ever ask for anything for free. We pay our way, and we just want good service for the things that we pay for too. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I think there's a
Shut
high
up, Jared.
level of
You see Jared on here? Call me old.
well, it is past your bedtime. Usually you're in bed by what, like
Well,
8?
I get up at 3:25 every morning, so you got
Yes.
about you got 37 minutes.
um, that's really early to wake up. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
Every day.
but I think I think there's such a high level of unprofessionalism in this industry. Um, I've worked in several different other industries, and I've never seen anything like the automotive industry. And not to knock the automotive industry, I love it. It's my passion. It's always what I wanted to do since I was a little kid. Wanted to race cars, things like that, right?
Hmm.
But I think a lot of people don't hold themselves accountable for their mistakes. You know what I mean? It's
Well, I
always
think that's the
everybody else's
I,
fault.
I think that's the problem. I think, like you said, like with this whole, I have not blasted this guy that we're talking about. I want to get the motor back. We have a local guy that we trust very well building the motor. They actually built our Nuna motor. I want to get it back in the car, get it back in the Mustang, and show people that it was definitely a bad build. And I'm going to make a post. It's not a post to intentionally attack him, but to make other people aware because it's not okay.
Right.
Whether it be $17,000 or $70,000. So yeah, I think awareness is a big thing. I think people need to realize that customers do need to be taken care of, and I feel like in this industry, it's like, hey, you're gonna get what we give you. You're
Yeah.
gonna we're
Yeah, and
gonna.
I feel like the smaller shops or guys working like take Scotty Wilson as an example. I
Mhm.
can't tell you how many times um I've heard like on the internet or read, I should say, not heard, but read on the internet how much Scotty Wills has helped someone,
Oh,
right?
he helped us out so much in this, and he knows. I talked to this guy. I said, "This guy, look, I need help, dude, because I just dropped 18,000 dollars, which is a lot of money for me. I got
Right,
a young kid still, but I said I need help, and he helped. Scotty doesn't need to,
right,
but he helped me out. He saved me thousands.
right.
That
And
and
it's like
Scott, this
he
is what
doesn't
Scotty
have
does
to.
for. No, he doesn't have to. This is what he does for a business,
Right,
and he did it out of the goodness of his heart. Now he still made a little bit of money, but it's peanuts compared to what he could have made.
right,
And I'm not saying everybody has to do that. We're all out to make money in what we do, right? But at the same token, you have to treat people correctly. You know, you got to treat and people like me and people like you and people like Jared and Scotty and Billy and all these people. It's not like we build one car and that's it. For the most part, we build cars after cars after cars. So
right,
know where you're being fed from. You know what I mean?
right. No, yeah, it's crazy to me.
Jared's
Again,
slow ass LS motor.
he's a Ford guy.
He die hard Ford.
Ford
So
guy. I
yeah.
don't mind. I don't mind Fords. It's
Hey,
I
listen,
like,
I'm not
I
gonna
like it
lie.
all.
I'm a Ford guy. My dad's a Chevrolet guy. When we put the LS in the Mustang originally, I was all butthurt. I wanted a Coyote, but
Okay.
I've fallen in love with the LSs. I have. So it is
Um,
what it is. Jared won't be saying that when I'm fucking Magneto up this year.
um, um, but yeah, it's all the BS I'm going through with my car. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Without giving too much detail, there's a reason why my car's not out yet, and it's not. I don't feel, so it is my fault, but it isn't my fault in my opinion. So I'm one of those people that I always say if something doesn't happen or the way I want it to go or whatever, it's my fault, right? Because I didn't do my due diligence, I didn't do my homework. I'll tell you this right now. I'll never um have another shop um totally do everything to my car ever again.
What? That's
On
what I told you. We won't do that either.
eh, and we've had this conversation on the phone, and this is just getting real, with everybody. How many times do you see a pro mod at a race shop getting everything done to it? Motor, chassis, safety equipment, whatever. You might see a pro mod at a chassis shop like Jerry Bickle, Larry
Hmm.
Jeffers, whatever.
Yep. Yep.
But most of those guys do everything themselves. The motor stuff, well, they'll send their motor out, right, to the engine shop. They'll send the chassis to the chassis shop. They'll send the trans to the trans shop, you know, so they don't have all their eggs in one basket. And I think when you have all your eggs in one basket, you can get easily taken advantage of. That makes sense.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And I agree. That's one of the reasons why we don't just use one shop for everything. That way
Right.
we have a little more control of what's going on.
Exactly.
Does it make the build longer or shorter? I don't know. It all depends on who you're dealing with. We try to keep our circle small. Um, like I keep saying over and over again, Jared does a lot with us. Billy does a lot with us. Our local guys with the engines, our local fabricators. I'm trying to stay more local, just
Yeah.
so I have a little more control over. Like I can stop by the engine shop every day. It's 10 minutes from my work, and I can talk to him. And I can, if he needs this, I can go grab this. And the glass guy is 20 minutes away. It's just we're trying to have a little more control over the build, even though we can't do the build ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, then that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
My goal personally over the next year or two, depending on how my program grows, is try to learn everything I can, so I can do as much as I can on my own. Because I'm tired of relying on other people, um, and you know, feeling stuck and helpless. You know what I mean? That's
Well, and that's true because like the people that are super successful, do the majority of their stuff by themselves. Like Jared is super successful in what he does with Magneto, but he doesn't build his motors, but he does
right.
everything else. He wires and fabricates and does this and does that. I mean, he does a lot of it. Billy Gordon's another one.
Mike Dent,
Yep.
another
Mike
one.
Dent, Mike
Scotty
Dent's another
Wheels,
one.
another one. You
Yep.
know, So, and they always have, those guys always have pretty successful programs, you know. Uh, but I think a lot of times too is like, when you take your car to a shop, they look at the car and they're like, oh, this guy must have money, you know, like lots of money. And they don't realize like we're doing everything we can to scrape by so we can compete with the best and either try to win, money, a championship, trying
Mhm.
to build recognition for ourselves, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, trying to promote your shop, your business. There's always a goal behind racing, you know, or maybe it's just an outlet for you. You know what I mean? But a
Well,
lot of
it's probably a combination of all of it, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I don't party. I don't go out and do drugs. I don't go to bars. I don't hang out at pool halls. I mean, the outlet for me and the bonding for me and my father and I is racing. I mean, obviously, I got it through him because he's been a racer his whole life. So that's my fun. That's my outlet. That's as much as like Jared and I've talked many because Jared and I talk several times a week. It's supposed to be fun, you know. And even when we're yanking a transmission out and working on a broken shock or doing this, it's fun, right? And when you feel like you put all this effort and all this money in to be screwed over, where's the fun? You
yeah,
know, where's the fun in it? So
dude. I've trust me, like there's and I know people are just out there trying to be nice, and I can't tell you how many times I've been at the track. I think more this year than I was. Oh, I think we lost them. Um, oh, you're back. Did you get a phone
yeah,
call?
yeah, a phone call came through.
Yeah,
Thank God, last time they kicked me off. So
yeah. Um, so
you think they
I,
would get the point? They keep calling us, keep denying it.
um, I think I was at the track this year more than I was last year. But I can't tell you how many
Am I
times.
back?
Yeah, you're back.
Son of a bitch.
You're good. Can you hear me? You, can you hear me? We lost them. But anyway, what I was saying, can't tell you how many times, I was at the track this year and people were like, where's your car? And how's your car doing? Things like that. That eats me up because, it's not out, obviously. And makes me just want to sell it, to be honest, because I'm not having fun. You know what I mean? This is a stressful process, building a new car and things like that. But So guys, there's a lot more people on now than there was in the beginning. So if you're going to be at PRI, let me know. I'd love to say hello to you, meet up with you, talk for a few minutes. I know everybody has agendas at PRI, and they, have a schedule, but would love to meet up and say hello and stuff. Drop a comment if you're going to be there. You're back.
Yeah, so if someone calls you and you send them straight to voicemail, maybe don't call again, right? So the second time booted me. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
so I had to leave and come back. I apologize.
Um, but what were we talking about? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was just basically talking about like my experience at the track and people asking me where my car
Keep
was.
talking. I'm gonna fill back up. Keep talking.
uh, when is that, Lewis? Not sure what you're asking. Let me know. But oh, maybe you're asking about the PRI show. PRI is next week. Alan, yes, I'll be at PRI. Make sure you hit me up and we'll get some dinner or beverages or something.
Alan needs to step his game up and sponsor all of us with that great oil he has.
Dinner at Buka. Dude, so Jared,
Is
oh my
Jared
God.
going? Is Jared going to PRI?
Yeah, he is. I think this is his first time going, if I'm not mistaken. Or he
I've
hasn't
never
been there in a
been.
while.
I've never
Uh,
been.
oh man, you gotta go. It's awesome.
I'll go next
Um,
year with you guys.
um, I gotta tell you a story about Buka. Uh, so the last time I was at a Buca de Beppo, I was probably around 21, right? And we went to it was like a bunch of us. It was like at least 15 of us. It was all guys and girls or whatever. It's this
Well,
girl's party.
what is it? I mean, I know it's a restaurant, but what kind
It's
of
an
restaurant?
Italian restaurant.
Italian.
Yeah. And it's a chain. But
Never
food is
heard of
pretty
it.
decent or whatever. And so we all ate there, and I can't remember what I had, but I had some kind of pasta. I don't remember. And of course, when we were 21, we went out to the club and we were drinking and dancing all night, right?
I can imagine where this is going.
Yeah, and I had some seafood pasta, right?
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. And dude, I got so sick, right? So sick. So everybody parked at this girl's house that we were at or whatever. Um, so I don't know. I can't remember how we got back to her house. Like we were definitely in some kind of bus or something. I don't remember. Like it's it was one, it was a long time ago. Two, I was heavily intoxicated, right? So here I am, uh, outside this girl's house. I like get in my car, right? And I'm like so drunk, right? And I'm like sitting in my car outside her house. Everybody's gone. And I'm like contemplating on driving home. I'm like, this is not a good idea to drive home. Now I'm just sitting there, laying in the truck. And I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna be sick, right? So here I am throwing up in
Mm.
front of her house, right?
Seafood
Like
pasta.
seafood pasta throwing up everywhere, like throwing up, throwing up. So I call a buddy of mine and I'm like, dude, you gotta take me home. And this is like 3 o'clock in the morning or so, 4 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, he gets out of bed. He's like, oh, F you. I hate you so much. But he knows I'll do it for him, right? So he comes and picks me up, right? And he's driving me home. We get to the red light in front of a police station, right?
Mm.
And I'm like, dude, I think I'm gonna be sick. He's like, well, don't throw up. Before he says don't throw up here, I open the door and throw up in front of the police station.
Well, the
Right.
big question is, have you eaten seafood pasta since then?
So I haven't been to Buca since that day.
Well, Jared said Thursday at 5:15. You guys are going again.
I will take that challenge.
Mm.
I'll just make sure I'm sober.
Yeah. Yeah.
And dinner at Izzy's at Friday 8 p.m. And we must have got another call. He needs to put his phone on do not disturb. What's Alan Bradley got for diesels? Everything. So hit him up. He's got everything for diesels. I get all my diesel fluids from Alan, so make sure to hit him up. I buy enough from Alan Bradley for him to sponsor you guys. Alan definitely helps me out. So is it the same caller?
No, it's my little 10-year-old this time.
Oh, okay. Is he like upstairs or something?
No, he just got back from him and his mom went to Great Wolf Lodge for a few days, so I'm sure he's calling me to tell me all about it. But he's not one to call me back 10 times if I don't answer. He'll wait.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Um, so let's talk about that shooting that happened. Do you know
Yes.
do you know the details of that?
I don't. I only know what I heard, what Triggerman has said, and of course, the rumor mills and some of the backline chats. I don't know, so I don't want to misquote or misspeak. I do know it was over an argument about money, supposedly, from what I heard. Two innocent people got hit, and then the one that was in the argument is killed, is dead. His fucking life is gone. So, this is a very sore subject for a lot of people because they say, it can happen. People say it can happen at a movie theater, it can happen at a drugstore, it can happen at a kid's soccer game. Yes, it can happen at those
All right.
places, but it seems to be too often, more than not, it's happening at grudge style events. Now, don't beat me up and get on here and say, "Oh, you're whatever you want to call me,"
You're a
right?
grudge racer.
You
you
know,
know?
you're a and I do, and I like grudge racing. I'm a shootout guy at heart.
Yeah.
I love shootouts because they bring constant action. And when you go to a shootout, you're going against 8, 16, 32, the fastest of the area, right?
Yeah.
But it does a lot of these mishaps historically in the last few years have been at grudge events.
Right.
And I don't give a fuck if you're white, black, Hispanic, yellow. I don't care. Whatever color person it is, it's happening at these grudge events. And Dotson and I are buddies, and we talk on the back lines all the time. He's family. He's grudge family. He'll disagree with me to a certain point, but it's true.
Yeah.
Um, it's fucking grudge events.
Well, people are always like, "Oh, it happens in NASCAR. It happens in Formula
No,
One.
it doesn't.
It
I mean,
happens in circle track." But they're not shooting each other. There's a
no,
difference between
they might take a fucking crescent wrench and smack them upside the head or something. And that's probably extreme, right? They
no.
might
It's
throw
mostly fist
punches.
fights. It's mostly
It's
fist
fist
fight.
fights, throwing old
Yeah.
fucking Pat's Blue Ribbon beer on old good boy.
Yeah.
But it's they're not shooting motherfuckers. Sorry for my
Right.
language. They're not stabbing people. Um, and I hate to see it happen. When I heard, I said, "Son of a bitch, is this another black eye for the grudge world?" Because we do enjoy grudge racing. Am I a grudge racer at heart? No, but you know me, I'll grudge race people. Do I do it for this big huge money? No. But that's the problem. I think a lot of people are doing it for these. I can't read all the comments. Um, I think a lot of people are making these big. Nowadays, it's not a badass race unless they're running for $30,000, which is stupid. If you, Lewis, not speaking times. Let's say your car goes out there's a 370 car and mine's a 380, 370 car, and it's two badass cars going at it. Who gives a fuck if it's for 5,000 or 50,000? The
Right.
problem in the last couple of years is money's made this shit so bad, right?
Yeah.
Money, people like, and I'll use Mike Dent as an example. Mike Dent has plenty of money. Could he run for $20,000 in grudge race? 100 million%. But Mike will tell you firsthand, it doesn't make me faster than fucking Joe Blow because I ran him for 20 grand. If I ran him for 2,500,
Right.
I'll
Anything
run
can
for 10.
happen. He can red light,
Anything can happen.
or his opponent can red light, and then
Yeah,
what?
exactly. And like Mike will tell you, Mike is a businessman, owns several businesses and does very well. He's just not willing to put out $25,000 a race just to lose it on a chance, right? It doesn't.
Yeah.
My whole point is, it doesn't make you the better driver. It doesn't make you the faster car. It doesn't make you the baddest of the baddest. But people like Fletcher Cox, who has tons and tons of money, run fucking Justin for $100,000 each.
Yeah.
It's killing the grudge world. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what anybody says. It's killing the grudge world. Social media helps kill the grudge world, the grudge racing, and then on top of that is not being. And the point I'm getting at is people can't afford to lose what they're fucking betting.
Right.
The most that we've ran for our family was 5 or 6 thousand on each on one side, and we lost. Now it was a couple of us went in for that 5 or 6 thousand. The most I'll ever do, and I lost to Brendan Mills, is 2,500. That's my limit. Lewis, you want to grudge race me? We'll do 2,500 max. I'm not doing any more than that. Does that make you better to me because you can race me for 10,000?
Right.
Fuck me.
Right.
So I think that's the problem. Is people they don't leave their emotions at home. They can't they can't decipher between talking shit and emotions, and then they get in their feelings, and then people nowadays, it's not like when I was growing up where you throw the fist up and you fight and it is what it is
And
now.
those are the same people. So what pisses me off, those are the same people that complain, "Oh, this track doesn't support grudge racing," or "This track doesn't
Well,
support no time
why
racing."
would they just lost someone's
E-
life at their event?
exactly. Or a week ago there was a stabbing at this track or whatever. Like, no wonder track doesn't want to support no time or grudge racing. It's like no track owner wants that liability at their track.
Well, look what happened with VMP.
Yeah.
Gone. There's no more grudge racing there, and
Right.
that's a very nice facility that could hold very successful events. I mean, think about this, like, and I'll talk just personally for me. I have 4 children, and my youngest is 10. I go to the racetrack and race somebody, and I lose my life before for a fucking race, and then my 10-year-old is, he's got no father.
Right.
My family has no brother, no. It's just, it's a very sore subject for me. It
Again, like you said, it can happen anywhere. Yes,
can
I
happen
get it.
anywhere, yes.
It can happen
But
anywhere. But how many times every season are we hearing about some kind of extreme violence at a grudge event. It doesn't
A
it doesn't
lot.
happen at a bracket race event. It doesn't happen at
No.
a even like a class like the World Series of Pro Mod or
Oh
Snowbird
no.
Nationals. It doesn't happen there.
PDRA, even
PDRA,
it's not happening like that. It's
it's
not
not
happening.
happen. Yeah. Are there fights? Are there arguments? Of course, but
Yeah.
people leave it to that. You know what I mean? So it's
Well,
those
this is
that
the thing.
crowd.
I'm definitely not anti-grudge. We just gotta. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you fix it because it's a culture thing. It's not a racial thing. It's a culture thing. I think it's like Mike or someone said. It's the emotion. Like they get so emotionally tied up. You might have a grudge that's been going on for 3 or 4 months, and so much emotion and so much testosterone and so much anger is built up
You
that
know how you
something goes
fix it?
wrong.
You know how you fix it, man? And I'm not saying this is the definite answer, but
Hmm.
if I was a promoter, which I don't want to be, it's a lot of hard work and I
Ugh.
don't want to get involved in that. But if I was a promoter, I would run my events, my no time events, like a professional event. Hey, we're going to start early. We're going to run these classes. We're also going to have class racing there, things like that. You know, um, we're not going to start at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night because people want to get to the track late, things like that. No, like that's not my crowd. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be my crowd. So in my opinion, hey, look at the events we had at Cecil, this year, the no time
Mhm.
events. They ran flawlessly, in my opinion.
They did, and that's because it's run in a very different manner, right?
Yes.
And I agree to a certain point about the times. Small tires sometimes we have to run later because of the heat and the sun and stuff like that. I think it all boils down to, and not all promoters can stop it by any means. I'm not blaming Jamie at all for what happened. It's not his fault. But I think when things are run more professionally, then more professionalism is shown from the racers as well, if that makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree. Scotty said that's what I do at my event. Yeah. He had a successful event. Started early, ran all day. Um, it was a great event. The money I spend in the Iceberg Slim program won't let me lose big money in less than 5 seconds. I got to save in for my program.
Didi, I'm with you. I'm the same way, brother. I'm a blue collar guy that goes to work every day, and dude, I'm struggling right now. I mean, Lewis, I've talked to you, I've talked to Mike, I've talked to Jared. I mean, I say struggling. It's a challenge for us to finish the car. That's why I put the Mustang up for sale, just because I needed that. I didn't need it. It would have helped to have that extra capital instead of having two cars just to help get the car finished because we are budget racers.
Right.
So it's just, Didi, I'm with you, buddy. It's I can't afford to lose that kind of money either. I just can't. I'm a single guy with a mortgage and kids, are in college and everything else. So,
Dude, if I had the money, I'd totally buy that car. You're selling that car for a steal.
well, my father called me last night because we're partners on everything, and he said, "Yeah, take the post down." He said, "We're not selling." I said, "Well, it would really help our pockets a lot right now if we got rid
Yeah.
of it." Nah, the car. We finally got the car figured out, and we're not getting rid of it. I don't want to.
Dude,
So
Pops is so funny. Like behind the scenes, he's your biggest cheerleader. He's all about let's do this, let's do that. But sometimes when you guys are at the track and you're struggling, he's like, I'm done.
I'm done. He'll go sit in the chair, get mad,
Yeah,
shake his head at me. We'll
yeah,
argue and fight. I'll get mad and drop the hood and fucking scratch it and all kinds of other shit. So
yeah.
no, he. This is it is 1,000,000% his passion to a T. It has been since I've been a baby and before I was even born. So he does get frustrated, and we struggled a lot with that car for the last couple of years. Um, if it wasn't for people in our life like Jared, I keep saying it over again, like Jared, like Billy Gordon, like Eric, we wouldn't be where we're at now, and we'd still be struggling. So it takes a village to help people.
I
And
agree.
Pops was scary. He's like, I know you're talking all this shit and you're promoting the car and it's what you do. It's kind of your thing, and the car is going to be beautiful, but it's going to take a while to get the car to work. I said, no, it's not. The car's going to work.
Yeah,
Oh, you ever hear my dad? Okay, okay. I said, Dad, we've learned. We've had all these people help us. We've learned with the Mustang. Now we got a better car, a longer, longer wheelbase car, a lot better components, like all the stuff that we learned on the Mustang has already been applied to
Yeah.
the Nova. We're gonna go out. Are we gonna go real fast right away? No, but I guarantee in a couple outings the car is it's gonna work.
Yeah, and
So
if if let's just say, I don't know who's going to continue to tune for you, if Eric's going to continue to tune or not, but let's say he is, um
100%, 100% Eric and Jared. Um,
um they already
those
have
two.
data from my car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yep. Yep.
they're going to know where to put the shocks, you know, and every car is different, right?
Yeah, it
But
is. Every car is different, but we have Adam from PRS that is amazing.
right.
That's I feel is the best shocks in the industry. I have Jared. I have Eric, who's tuned Nucky for what 2 years now.
Yep.
We've had Don help us a little bit here and there. We'd like to have Don come down and help us lay out the car some, but Don's so busy right now. It's hard to get him. He's got a lot of stuff going on, trying to finish your car and whatever else. I believe when you put the right people in place and you learn from other mistakes, that the car it's gonna work. And like we said, our car is a lot like your car. Double frame rail, same wheelbase, pretty much same combination. A little better LS, well, a lot better LS motor
Yeah.
than what we originally had. I shouldn't say a lot better, just the capability is going to be a lot better. But everything else, weight bias and stuff like that is going to be pretty close. So the car's going to work. I'm
What's the
pretty,
limit on that motor boost wise?
uh, a lot,
Okay.
a lot. Yeah, a lot. I think we'll find the limit of the turbo before we find the limit of the block and stuff. So it's a Noonan block and it's built pretty stout. Jared, I'm going to go 489. If I'm lucky, I'll go 489. That's 2/10 faster than I've been right now. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, and I hate to keep saying it over and over again. You got to have good people in your program. And the people that I'm sure Billy and Jared get tired of. I call them constantly. Hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? And they've never once been like, okay. They're always like, hey man, what can I do? All right, let me see. Send me a picture. Do this, do that. So we couldn't do it without people, without the help of people. Especially people that know what they're doing and have been fast.
Right. I saw Double O Shit Show.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a post from them today. It said, there's two things guaranteed in drag racing. This shit's fucking expensive. Two, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
There you go. And you just summed up my whole race program. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, people like Jared, because we all have different personalities. Didi said takes a village. Absolutely, Didi, 100%. Coleman says it's still an L. Hell yeah, Coleman's still an LS.
Yep.
Coleman is another one he can do a lot of the stuff himself. You see his
Yep.
car he's building?
Yeah, that Camaro's sick.
Wow. Wow, the
Yeah.
vinyl top and stuff. That thing is
Beautiful.
wicked. Beautiful car. I love this Vega. And him and I talk shit just because that's just what I do to help promote the races and stuff. But man, his new car, whoa,
Yeah.
that thing is bad.
Yep.
And that's the thing right now. Like the Camaros are the hot thing right now. Like, oh God, another fucking Camaro, 67, 68, 69 Camaro. But man, Coleman's is that color and the vinyl top, and it's a beautiful car.
I've always wanted a Camaro. But it's definitely so if I ever build a badass car like Nucky again afterwards, it's either going to be a Camaro or it's going to be a Mustang Fastback.
Do you want to know what my favorite car out right now is?
What's
It's
that?
the TKM Galaxy. The
Really?
red. Have you seen that car?
Yeah, that thing is such a boat, though.
That thing is bad. Is wicked. My dream car, my dream 275 car is like a 62 Falcon.
Oh
That's
wow!
what I would love to have, a 62 Falcon slammed on the ground, real long wing off the back. Yeah, I mean,
So my
every
dad has a '65 Comet.
they're bad
Um,
too.
yeah, and it's back halved and everything. It's the car I started racing in when I was 16. And he still has it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Um, what do you think about all these huge money shootout races coming out next year?
Well, that's the thing too. So now you have everybody trying to outdo everybody,
Yep.
which I think it's good and bad, right? Because the good part is you're actually going to race for some really big money. So if you win one of these things, it's like holy shit,
You're a
I
badass.
you're badass. First of all,
Yep.
recognition and notoriety, but it's you just put a lot of money back in your pocket. People, the fans don't realize what it costs just to go to the track, fuel, tires, paying for your people's. Like when I go to the racetrack, I pay for everybody's stuff.
Yep.
I pay for their hotel. I pay for my dad and I pay for their food. We pay for everything. You're spending a couple grand a weekend. You and I have talked. I don't even bring
Yep.
that up, but I mean, you're spending a couple grand a weekend just to get to the track. So you're welcome, Coleman. If you go and you can win 100 grand, man, you just put your program well ahead for the year, right?
Yep.
You're never gonna pay that car back unless you win. Like Justin Swanstrom does this for a living. I did not like that dude at all, but man, in the last 6, 8, 10 months, he's really kind of won me over because he works his ass off. He's self
Yep.
promoted. He he's awesome, right? He's living the dream of what he wants to do in life, and that's racing, building a brand, and fucking winning, right?
Right.
So he's making money at it. We're not making money at it, but if we can get to something to get back to your original question, if you could hit one or two or three of these events, these big events that Big Jake puts on, Mike Hill's putting on, what's his name, Peso
Yep.
out Midwest is putting on. Let's say you win two or three of them. Holy shit! Look at the money you just put back in your program, and it allows you to race to continue racing.
Yeah.
You know,
100 grand would probably cover my expenses for
absolutely.
the
Two
entire
years for me.
season.
Yeah, 2 years for me. Expenses, 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't stand sometimes when the fans, like on DMV Grudge, guys that don't have a clue are like, well, why didn't this guy show up to the race? Or, this car was supposed to be there and they bitch. It's like they don't have no idea how much it costs just to get to the track.
Well,
You
going
know
to,
what I
and
mean?
that's the thing too. Big Jake's race is in Texas. That's a
Yeah.
23 to 24 hour trip for us, one way,
Yeah.
right? Tires, axles. I mean, just all the stuff, the wear and tear on the trailers and the hotel. You got to take off a week, just to get there and come back.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think it's awesome that these big races are going on. The only downfall to it is you're bringing the baddest of the baddest.
Yes.
So you got to be top tier to go there. Anything can happen, but you're going to go and compete against the Justins and the Harveys and those guys that are just. It's awesome.
Killing.
It's awesome for the fans. It's tougher for people that are not on that level to compete, but it is racing. Anything can happen. So I like it. I like it, and it
Yep.
is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's great for the no time world. Um I've been waiting for big money races like this in the no time world for quite some time because
Well,
it's not a foreign concept in other drag
oh
racing
no,
like pro mod racing
yeah,
or even bracket racing. Like bracket racing, there's $1 million races. However, you have to get through 600 other drivers. You know what I mean?
yes, yeah.
So
And Jim Halsey's helped out a lot too with that. He throws on those big $50,000 invitational only, pro mod races, right? Um, I think it's great. The only bad thing about it is it's hard to compete with it. So I'm in partnership with OBX, which
right.
and we throw two races a year. So we put up, hey, $10,000 to win. People are like, oh, it's only 10,000 to win. Fans, oh, it's only 10,000 to win. Big Jake is putting up $100,000. Someone says putting up $150,000. People don't understand the money it takes to go, you know, and put on an event and try to get the payout as it is. We had a $20,000 race last year, and it was extremely difficult, and it was hard to get cars there. So
So
it's a double-edged
what do
sword.
you think that is? Because it seems like the guys going to big Jake's races, they don't mind because the buy-in at the big Jake's races is what, like 2,500, right?
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. Mike said 13,000 for him to go to Georgia. I
Wow.
so we not I won't jump off subject too fast. We want to do a couple of Mike Hill's races, maybe one or two this year, but that's all we can afford.
Yeah.
Mike can go do that because he's in a little better financial situation. He's done very well with himself and businesses and stuff. 13,000 for him to go to Georgia and race.
Wow.
So,
Crazy.
but anyway, I didn't mean to cut you. I just saw his comment come
No,
up.
no, that's good because I think people from the outside that don't really do what we do need to know and be informed of how much this shit does cost. You know what I mean? So if we don't show
Extremely.
up at a race or whatever, maybe it's because we can't afford it.
Or
You
maybe it's
know?
because, we run these things on the ragged edge and sometimes shit breaks and it
Yep.
costs thousands. We don't break something that costs $100 to fix. We break something that costs 5,000 to fix.
Right.
We the last 2 years, man, we've done some crazy shit, made some races, and it costs us a lot of money buying motors and putting in different trim. It's tough. I'm not complaining. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, why wasn't Lewis there? Well, you don't realize he torched a fucking head. That head alone was 5 grand or 6,000 or 8,000, and
Right.
not counting all the other expenses that go along with it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and the
Again,
fan, listen, without the fans, there's no sport.
yeah.
So I
The
love
fans
the
are definitely
fans.
needed. But I think
Mhm.
sometimes they don't understand what goes on. 15K to go to Florida with an average car last year. Wow.
Yeah, it's just that's crazy. I mean, that's why you asked in the beginning of the show, like what our plans are this year. So my plans with my dad. My dad's getting older. He'll probably outlive me. Um, he's a very young 72. But our plans this year is to get the car finished, get it competitive, which we're going to hopefully have by March. Getting it out there, testing and running. I want to do like 6 to 8 max events. And that would be, a couple of Mike Hill races, a couple of Carolina No Time, a couple, heavy hitters, 6 to 8 races. That's it. That's all I can afford to do. And I'm not going to take the car out there and beat it up 14, 15, 16 races. And, I'm just not. So
Right.
probably 8 races, Lewis, is what we're shooting for. Eight races, get us out there for the fans and have some fun. And, 8 races is a lot of money. It's a lot of money
And
with entry fees and buy-ins.
that's a pretty full schedule, for a heads up racer. I always say like if you're doing like about 8 to 10 races, that's a pretty full schedule if you think about it,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you also need time in between for maintenance and fix parts and order parts and whatever else, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
And Motor City Inductions just said, and that's extremely correct. Also, the market is getting too saturated with too many races.
yep,
Everybody's a promoter, and there's races on top of races, and it's there's so much more hype when you have a once a year Bridge Awards, a once a year Big Jakes, a once a year, and this is a time event, but World Cup, stuff like that. So when there's some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not just an every weekend event.
right.
It's not. There's a big grudge race every other Saturday, every other Sunday. It's just you gotta. It's getting too saturated.
I agree. I think
Yes,
promoters.
Scotty, I'm coming. Yes, Scotty, I'm coming to your race. I apologize. I'm coming. I told Scotty I was coming. We're coming.
I think people need to start thinking outside the box, like Motor City Induction said. Um, and I've had several discussions with some promoters and things like that. You know, some of my favorite events back in the day were like the Nopi events, things like that. You
Well,
know,
it's like the original. I mean, back in the day when Jason Miller first started import versus domestic, that shit was
yeah,
fire, man.
yeah. Like you
Yeah.
had car show, you had racing, you had bikini contests, you had all this stuff going on. Like
It
you,
was an
if you have
event. It was an event. It wasn't
it,
just a
eh,
race.
exactly, if you have
And I
this
think,
big facility, use it. Why aren't you renting out bouncy houses for the kids and
well,
things like that?
and I think that I didn't get a chance to make it this year to hit to his race, but I think Marcus and Antoine and them did that. I think when they went to US 13, they made it. I believe so by watching the videos. They made it a huge event, right?
Right.
They made it more of a family oriented event with some badass racing, right?
Exactly. Another thing you could do is as soon as racing's over, let's say racing ends at like 10 o'clock. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a concert.
Yeah,
Throw a
yeah.
concert, you know, have people dancing, having a good time, make it a big party, sell food, whatever, sell
Yeah.
alcohol, drinks, whatever, you know. Um,
Have
like,
security.
yeah, obviously have security, right? But make it an event, not just
Right.
cars going down the
Right.
track, because
Right.
a lot of times there's a lull in racing because, this car broke down or the track is getting prepped. And it's like you're sitting
Well,
around bored.
look at World Cup this year, right? And I'm not bad mouthing Jason's event. He's done an incredible job over the last 20 some years. But look at the event this year. There were so many oil downs and so many broken cars back to back to back to back to back. You got to have something to fill that void,
Yep.
right? Mike didn't say strippers.
I don't know what
I'll strip.
strippers are, Mike. I'm a man
I'll
of
strip for
God.
you. I'll strip. I'll strip for you, Mike.
I'm a man
But
of
no, you're
Jesus.
absolutely right. I mean, I even thought, I'd sit back and my brain's always going like, it'd be nice to see some of these big events and have Ford get involved or Chevy get involved. Give away a fucking Raptor. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Give away a fucking badass Mustang. Trust me, you promote it, and I'm probably letting the cat out of the bag. These guys are gonna jump on my idea, right? But you give away, a fucking bass boat or something. Make it grow the fucking sport. Yes, the money's incredibly awesome, right? But make it different. You know,
Yes.
give away a fucking a Chevy Tahoe or whatever,
Right.
whatever. Get
Get
other people.
sponsors involved.
Grow the sport. Grow the sport outside. Grow the sport outside the sport. If that
Get
makes sense.
vendors involved. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many times I went to an event this year and there was like one food vendor and that's it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough like that. I agree. We've been to a couple events. Larry McKenzie did very very well with his events. His events and he's the thing with Larry is he's learning. And Larry's very open to ideas, and Larry's also realized he can't do it by himself. So he's incorporated people that have done a lot of different things, and they're helping him in different aspects of the event. So no, I think there's a lot of room for growth.
Yeah.
But people got to start really thinking, and not just the money, not the big pots. Start thinking outside the box. Start thinking outside the industry a little bit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Start you gotta attract, in my opinion, if you're throwing a family event, make sure the whole family's having fun. Make sure the wife is having fun. Make sure the kids are having fun. You know, that way, you know, you can bring your wife and kids and not be afraid that they're going to get bored or not want to be there. You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I
make
mean, I agree. I agree 100%.
yeah,
And that's why people always say, oh, you hear so many grudge racers complain about shootout racers, right? And oh, you're only paying $250 and you're not really losing your money. Who gives a fuck? If it wasn't for shootouts, grudge events would not be successful.
no,
You have these badass. When I go to a big race, I want to watch the 275s. If I'm not racing, that's what I'm going to watch. Now,
right,
if Scotty Wheels is racing fucking Avon or something, that's a big headliner race, I'm going to watch that also.
right,
But I'm not downplaying the little guys. I'm not watching every Tom, Dick, and Harry grudge race everybody. I'm not watching the Volkswagen grudge race the golf, right?
right,
It's got to be something that's appealing, and shootouts are appealing.
yeah.
You have a 275 event. You're watching the fastest 275 cars around in that shootout. So I don't know why it's so hard for the shootout guys and the grudge guys to just play nice together. I don't get it, but whatever.
I think it's a lot. It has to do a lot with jealousy.
I
Things
think
like
so.
that.
I think so. And Scotty said have a vendors row. Absolutely. That makes it more appealing for a lot of people.
The vendors get charged too much. They should almost be paying nothing, so they bring the
I
crowd. I
I
would
agree.
agree.
I agree. I agree 100%. They
Yeah,
try to charge these food trucks and stuff ungodly amounts to come in. They don't make any fucking money. So no, they
yeah,
should their fee should be very minimal. I agree with Mike 100%. Like a tire guy or
yeah.
a guy selling nitrous. I mean, what's the hurting to have them there? It's not hurting. You pay them and make them pay like a regular entry fee or something, that a tech card.
I
If
don't.
they're going
I
to
think
bring,
if
they're
you're
going
going
to
to
bring more
partner with
people.
another business like a vendor, you shouldn't charge them. They're again, Mike is right. They're bringing in people. They're bringing in their own fans. So let's say like you have an event and Scotty Wheels is going to set up a tent on his shop.
Yeah.
Scotty's going to promote that, to his fans, which in
Well,
turn is going
well,
to bring more people to the track.
well. Think about this. They have swap meets, just swap meets alone at racetracks. Why? Because people want to come there and buy shit. It's the same concept.
Yep.
Have that same concept at a fucking event.
Yep.
Have 10 or 15. Let's be serious. Besides Bridge Wars, which was extremely successful, not this the time that we were all there, right?
Yeah.
So there was space that was limited. But even then, you got vendors row at Budds Creek. You could have 10 or 15 vendors there. It wouldn't cost you nothing to have them there, and they would bring people in.
I would agree. Yeah.
You know?
No. So we have events at my business all the time. Not all the time, but several times a year. We never charge for a vendor, ever, and it's usually free to the community. Whatever. I know it's different than racing, right? I get it, but
Same concept though.
same concept. We don't charge vendors to come to the events. Like, we
Yeah.
want to partner with other businesses. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to try to make money off another small business. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like especially if they're a sponsor, they should definitely get in for free. If Mickey Thompson's
Yeah.
throwing some money as a sponsor, then yeah, 100%. Let them come in and let's be for real. All racers need tires, so
Yep.
I don't know. Bobby Ballard was something my buddy said. Greed takes away a lot of. Yeah, you're right. Greed does. 100% greed kills the sport. Listen, I want all promoters. I've promoted myself. So this is the thing. I promoted Heavy Hitter Street back when there was no racing going on. We tried it at Capitol. You were there. We were very
Yep.
successful. I've not made any money promoting. Now, that's not that I can't make money, but I've never, rented the track. We've always kind of piggybacked and we've partnered. But promoters should make money.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They 100% should make money. If not, then why are you doing it? Just for the love of the sport and the headache? It takes a lot to promote a race, you know?
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's got to be an equal. It's got to be good for both parties.
No, I agree. Because without promoters, a lot of the tracks are not going to do it. You know what I mean? They'll promote
No,
some of
no,
their own races, but especially like the no time stuff, we need more good promoters in the no time stuff.
yeah, and they got to work together. That we've been talking about that for
Yeah.
years and years and years. They got to work together and stop the bickering back and forth and stop putting races on top of races because it does. You start to flood the market with too many. So I sat back this year, it's like Mike Den has. Mike Den is pretty much focused on. I'm speaking for him. I'm not speaking out of place. He's pretty much picked his program for the year. He's gonna support OBX, which is us. I think 2 races or one, whatever he can. I know he's going to do at least one, but his focus is going to be Mike Hill. So you got to sit back and take all these fucking promoters and all these races and think, okay, I got to choose.
Yeah.
So I think if promoters maybe backed off a little bit, this is just my opinion. That's just like everybody else. Everybody's got an opinion. Back off a little bit and make your event even more enticing, then you're going to do better, whether you have one event or 2 events, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
You know, Mike says he's got
Mike.
2 4 events. Yeah.
Yeah. I love OBX. That is like,
What? It's family, man. I mean, Dorsey and those guys, they came to me a couple years ago when I beat the dog piss out of Jared. He wiggled a little bit and I beat him. I'm just kidding. But Timmy came up when I first met him. Timmy came up. He was all mad because we beat him, and I loved him. He's my brother. He said, "You want to run it back? You want to?" And we broke some. I'm like, "Nah, I don't want to run it back." He wiggled a little bit and we beat him, but we met them there, and they are some of the best people in drag racing. And it's not just because I'm so close to them. I'm close to them for a reason because they're good fucking people. But anyone who's never been to OBX, you've been there many times. It's just such a family oriented. You
yep.
feel very welcome.
Yep.
There's never been any arguments that since we've had our races there in a couple of
No
years.
drama, nothing.
No drama, no fighting, no arguing, no this, no that. They treat you well. Dorsey goes above and beyond for the racers. The track has turned around. Dorsey's put money into it. We've been fast. Mike Dent has been very fast there, 60 foot, and set the track record, I believe. Still, if you haven't been to OBX, you need to go. And it's Alan. You definitely need to go. It's a great little I don't want to call it a backyard track, but that's what it is,
Yeah, it's a
right?
backyard track. Yeah,
It's a
because I
it's a
remember the
back.
first time going there. When I pulled in, I was like, "What the
We
hell
did
is
too.
this?"
We said, where the hell, where the
Yeah,
hell are we?
because
And
it's
then
like out of nowhere. You turn right. You're on this road. Turn right, and like the track is off a main road. And then
you
like
drive a mile to get down through there, and it's just.
yeah,
But once you're there, it just feels almost like a vacation kind of feel, right?
yeah,
Like when you get to the beach, and it's like just a weight off your shoulders. It's not like some of these other places. And MIR is an amazing facility, but we're spoiled because it's such a great facility.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're definitely doing OBX. It's both races there, and if you've never been, I've said it already. You got to go. You got anybody
Mike
that's on here.
Mike said it's crazy how that backwoods track works. Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, yeah, Mike. Like I said, Mike's been crazy 60 foot there
yeah
with
that
with the Admiral, not even with NFW. I mean, he I've been with him down there and watched him and saw the numbers. Like, holy shit.
and it's even better now
Um,
since they redid it.
yeah, it's even better now. They struggle sometimes with the weather down there because it's so close to the ocean and the way
Yeah,
things work. But when the track's working, it's working.
yep.
And yeah, I'm excited. We can't wait till May. Man,
Alan,
September.
for sure, OBX needs that Schaefer's Oil partnership.
You need honestly, Alan. You need to reach out to Dorsey
Yeah.
if you need his number. Send me a DM, and I'll put you in touch with Dorsey. Such a great family, such a
It'd
great
be
track,
it would
such
be
a great.
great if Dorsey carried like lubricants at the track.
Yeah, yeah, and Dorsey, he's in it for the long haul. He's a fairly new owner,
Yeah.
but he's got a heart of gold. I haven't talked to him about a month. That reminds me, I got to call him. But dates for OBX, yeah, it's May 2nd and 3rd, and oh man, don't make me. I've been drinking, so don't make me lie to you. May 2nd and 3rd in September. I don't know. I posted the flyer a few times, Jonathan. I'll post it again. But no, he's in it for a long haul, and he's definitely he's put the 20,000, and it didn't matter because he still put the same pot up when he didn't have the car count that we were hoping to have. So what does that tell you? I mean, he pretty much came out of his pocket and
Yep.
still put the car count money up. I mean, the payout money up without having the car count. So.
Yeah. Same thing with so we competed in the bracket race last time,
Hmm.
this last race or whatever, and they didn't get the car count that they were hoping for. And Dorsey literally reached in his pocket because it was supposed to come out of the racers, right? But
Hmm.
Dorsey reached in his pocket and paid us first and second place out of his own pocket, and that just shows you what kind of owner he is.
I can tell you because I know firsthand because I'm involved with them. Dorsey has broken even almost every race and lost money on a couple of them because he he is a great person and he loves the sport.
Yeah,
Timmy Roughhouse said I'm having a race this year. A different race besides the two OBX, Timmy? I didn't know about that. You have to send me a message. But no, Dorsey is a huge fan of the sport. He's I could him and Timmy, they're my brothers. They're just I love them to death. We talk quite often. Just when you meet good people and you have good people in your life, you kind of hold on to those good people.
yeah,
And they're
I agree.
genuine, good-hearted people. Now Timmy gets on there, and Timmy's my brother. I'll back him with anybody. Um, Timmy likes to talk his trash, and Timmy gets hyped up, and it is what it is. But that's all of us. We have our egos, right? We all do that. But at the end of the day, Timmy's a good-hearted person, and him and Dorsey they're just phenomenal people.
I always
So
say if you're in this no time world and you can't handle people talking a little bit of shit, you don't belong in this world.
no, no, I mean I had to adapt quickly because we came from class racing, and I didn't like a lot of that stuff that was going on, and it took me a while to adapt to it and realize you got to have a little thicker skin and
Yep.
kind of let some of the stuff roll. Now there's a point to where it's disrespectful, or a point where it's just kind of talking trash, right?
Yep.
Which I can talk trash with the best of them.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah,
Um,
I mean I don't know, we don't know when your car is going to be out this year, but I mean the whole community is super excited. You
yeah,
know.
me too, man. I said once I do that first burnout, I'm probably gonna do it all the way to the 330.
I mean, I just do a John Force burn on go all the way down through the quarter mile.
Yeah.
Just
So
come back to the turn road.
um, I'm definitely gonna wear diapers. So till I get
It's
used
gonna
to it.
it's gonna be we talked about this many times. It's definitely gonna be a different kind of feeling, right?
Yes.
Because
Um,
those semis on those twins, whatever size you're putting on there is gonna be a little bit different than what you're used to.
I adapt quickly though.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I went from driving a 470 car to driving a 420 car like that. So, you know, and not that, Nucky, that's how Nucky started was immediately we took it out, first test session, not first run, but first test session, and made it into the 420s.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Well,
and
that's my
before that,
point. That's my point about building a new car.
yeah,
I'm not worried at all the car's going to work.
yeah,
You know, will it
yeah,
go 390 out the box? No, but it's going to go down the track.
yeah, it will,
No, yeah.
it will. Um, but yeah,
But you're
guys,
you're talking you're talking 14s. With Nucky, which we don't talk times, but Nucky's whole combination has been changed. We can talk times.
yeah,
You're talking 14s to 370s. A
yeah, it's
little
gonna
bit
be a
of
big
difference.
jump. It's gonna
A
be a
little
big
bit
jump.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You
Um,
know, 180 mile an hour to 200 and some mile an hour, and the eighth is going to be a little bit of a where your depends.
no, we're gonna take it slow. We're gonna, you
Bullshit.
know,
Stop lying. You
take it
right?
to the
We
60,
we
330. Just
listen. Go watch the video with the new motor. My dad says, I listen. I love my father. I respect him with everything in the world. But I listen to what Eric tells me. Eric, what do you want me to do? Take it to the 330. Take it to its shift second gear, and then just let off, and we'll read the data. So the first hit, you were there. I take it out and wait for the car to sit. You hear my dad in the video. Shh, let up, dumbass. What are you talking about?
it felt good.
I did what the tuner told me to do.
Oh man, but no, it's been the most stressful thing in my entire life for the past year. I have lost sleep over it. I haven't slept well in over a year.
Well,
Um,
I don't think it's because I think it's because of the situation that you're in,
yes,
right? It's definitely not because of the combination change, because that's easily you can adapt to that quickly and figure that out. I mean, after you let the button go, you're going to figure that out, right? I think it's because of the really bad situation that you're in right now, right? And you and I talk a couple times a week. Like I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I can't even imagine the amount of stress and loss of sleep and everything else that's going on with you.
yeah. Melvin's like, keep drinking, tell us some more times.
That was old shit, Melvin. That's last year's
Yeah,
shit.
that's old shit. Yeah, that was 2023.
Yeah.
I don't care. Anybody can ask me how fast Nucky went. I don't really care. I'll tell you. Um, you know, let's just say we had the hydraulic roller record, but we couldn't talk about it. Because out of respect for all the no time guys out there. But
Yeah, but that's been a year and a half.
yeah, it's
You know what I
that
mean?
record's been that record has
Yeah.
been broken by I forget his name.
Kenny Dangler.
Yeah, yeah.
Kenny
So
Dangler. Yep. And he shows time. So
yeah,
Kenny Dangler's been 390s in that hydraulic roller.
yeah,
Them little
exactly,
motors, you regretting that thing? Put a little hydraulic motor back in there.
dude. Uh, I I just I just wish I would have just stuck to my guns and you know refreshed the motor or maybe got a slightly different LS and then went back out this year. That's what I wish I would have done.
I mean, it's twofold. You're going to have a killer combination. It's going to be more work, a little more maintenance and stuff like that. I see it both ways, right? I don't want to. I don't want to be on that level because we've had a pro mod with a Brad Anderson, Hemi, and stuff like that, and I know how much work that goes into it. And we didn't have fun doing it. Not that you won't. We didn't because we weren't used to the Hemis. We weren't used to having a pro mod. We weren't used to all the all that entails being involved in running pro mods. So it wasn't a fun thing for us. So we sold it. We sold it and we went back to the small tire. And I have the most fun what we're doing right now. The pro mod was cool to be like part of the pro mod crowd. You come out there with this badass fucking 67 Camaro with this big, huge blower sticking out and Brad
Yeah.
Anderson. It's fun, but it's only fun for those couple of seconds. And everything else beyond that is just, it's too much work, man.
Yeah.
You know,
That's,
too much
well,
work.
that's one thing I love about the small LS is it's like, especially mine, I didn't have to do valves, check valves, I didn't have to, I just put gas in it, or I should say alcohol, put
Yeah, yeah.
alcohol in it, you know, change
Dude,
plugs. That's
all,
it.
all we did with the little 388 that we bought from you was we
Yep.
changed the oil every race because alcohol is so bad on oil.
Yeah.
And Jared teased me all the time. Jared's probably asleep now talking shit about me. It's 8:30, probably in bed now. Change plugs like twice a year with a turbo car, right?
Yep.
Um, I mean, we nut and bolted the car after every race, and that's it. We didn't. There was no checking lash. There was no checking that. There's nothing. You check the car, make sure the plugs are good, make sure it has fuel, and keep the oil changed in it, and fire that bad little boy up and go be competitive.
Yeah. I kind of, I'm going to see how, once the car is out, if let's say the year is very stressful, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to keep that car. I'll go back to doing some a little slower, some more manageable, easier, because if I'm not having fun, I'm
Well,
not going to continue to do it.
let's ask you a question. Did you have fun with Nucky?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
There you go. We'll see how this goes.
Yep.
The first season, not with that, and then you have your answer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a good conversation. I actually didn't have anything planned. Usually when I do these, I have like a list of questions and stuff. I didn't have anything planned. I knew this was going to be a great show because you and I can shoot the shit for a long time.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know,
would. Yeah, we do it all the time.
yeah. But again, guys, if you're going to be at PRI, let me know. Love to meet up, say hello, maybe have a beer with you. Also, you know,
No seafood pasta though. Just stay away from the seafood pasta.
uh, that's one of my favorites.
Watch out, Jared. You gotta deal with his throwing up.
um, yeah, this time of the year it's to grow your program, grow sponsorships, websites, all that stuff. Hit me up for a consultation, for a free consultation. And I can try to steer you in the right direction on.
I think you need to talk more about your ability to help design with your contacts for wraps and designs for cars because the stuff that you sent me, unbelievable. I mean, you need to get that out there and let people know that that's an option you can help them with also.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Since that deal's probably not going to go through.
I don't know, but I want that wrap anyway.
Let's see here. See if I can pull it up.
I think Mike Dent needs to reach out to you and get a couple wraps done for his program. Wrap the Admiral NFW kind of come up with a design for Mike Dent racing team
That'd
and
be cool.
wrap them two cars the same. Yeah, that would be. Let Mike see
Uh,
that design that you had done up for the. I don't want to say the name until you post it, but yeah,
uh,
I shared that with some people that are very close to me that won't say anything or tell anybody, and they're like, "Wow, that's fucking wicked."
let me see here. I don't know if I. Oh yeah, I did save it. Oh no, I
I
didn't.
got
Never mind. Hold on. I gotta pull it up here.
Yeah, post that bad boy up if you can. Like I said, you need to get
Actually,
Mike to
no,
give you a call.
I might have a different one here.
I'm talking about the latest one you sent me. The original one was cool, but the latest one you sent me was really wicked.
uh,
Tell me how badass that would be if Mike Dent pulled up to his Mike Hill races with both cars wrapped pretty much the same.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
anytime you have like multiple badass cars wrapped the same, like
yeah.
it definitely makes a huge statement.
Well, that's
Uh,
the thing with like Kamikai and Sicario is the name of the Nova. They're both gonna be painted the exact same color, with a lot of the exact same accents and stuff. So when we do get them to the track together, it's going to be pretty wicked looking to see both side by side.
Let's see. Here we go. All right. Hold on. I'm downloading it right now. I didn't have it saved to my desktop. I had it on my phone, but I remembered I'd sent it to a couple people.
You sent it to me.
All right, here we go. Boom.
There you go. Look at that wicked ass fucking car. You
So,
see that? Hopefully Mike Dent's still on there. Come up with get that guy to get him to design a Mike Dent Racing logo and wrap both of his cars. Man, that would
boom.
be. I know that's your favorite. The other one's my favorite, but they're both wicked looking. I mean, just imagine the Wilsons Nova and your Nova both wrapped one each. You know, at the racetrack.
Hey,
Wow.
I told him that he liked the idea. But yeah, tag Nitro Fish, tag Kyle Koretzy, tell him you want to see both Novas in Nitro Fish gear.
Oh
Unfortunately,
yeah.
the deal isn't going to go through most likely this year. Who knows? Maybe the following year. So that's why I'm sharing it now. But this was a deal I was working on. But tag them, let them know you want to see both my Nova and Ricky's Nova in the Nitro Fish wrap in 2025. Maybe he'll change his mind.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to post that up tomorrow. I'll tag him.
But these are the types of things I can do for your car and your brand. What happened there?
I
You
just
drinking
dropped
too
one.
much?
I'm drinking too much. Too much Blackberry Crown.
Oh man,
But
this
yeah, I
is
mean
the
that's just something. I mean that's another avenue that you have to help promote people, and that those wraps are a huge deal. They're very popular right now, and it pretty much just makes your car shine.
yeah. I agree, Lewis. You'll be all right. God is good. Car will be out soon. Don't let it stress you. Yeah, God is good. I definitely have become closer to the Lord this year. That's for sure. Um,
Yep.
but it's been stressful. Let's just say that. Uh,
There's the light in the tunnel. You've got a plan, and Alan is badass. Now, Alan, imagine having that logo of yours on the back there, nice and pretty in that wrap, and that's what it's all about, man. You see that? Let me tell you something. I go to the racetrack and I see that car, that Nova, sitting in the pits like that. It's grabbing my attention. I'm gonna go
exactly.
up and look
Imagine
at
if
it.
you saw two
Yeah,
like that.
I'm gonna buy the hoodie. I'm gonna buy the hat. I'm gonna buy the T-shirt. 100 million%.
Yeah.
And I'm a racer. You know what I mean?
So
100%.
Alan, you need to put uh, you know,
Schaefer rule.
a bug in your marketing director's ear. Maybe we can get two Chevy 2 Novas with the Schaefer's oil wrap on it.
Yep. Yep.
I even did one for Schaefer's oil once too.
Did you? Then send it to me. Let me check it out.
Let me see.
I know that. And Alan's a huge Nova guy. He loves Novas.
Yeah, he needs
He
to
already
convince his marketing director to, to
spend a little money.
exactly. Um, it takes a lot of money to do this. So, let me see here.
Yes, it does.
Let me see if I could find that.
The great thing about the 67s and the 66s, low and long, low and long. They make one of the nicest looking race cars.
Oh yeah, I would agree. The 69 to 72 is also pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
CJRC did one for somebody a while back.
it was he runs Radio versus the World as well. Brian Markowitz.
Yeah, they've done some bad. Even what's his name? What the hell's his name? Damn, I can't think of it now. Shit, the one that beat Justin last year in the garage race, the Nova. Fuck, I can't think of his damn name. I think it's like a 72. You know I'm talking
Um,
about.
um,
Damn.
David Reese.
Reese. Reese Brothers,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they man, you put them things on the ground with them long wings on them and that Sunoco style hood.
Do you know? Do you know how much that car weighs? It is super light.
I mean, rumors are like around 2050 with driver, but that's just rumors.
I think.
Don't
Yeah,
know
I
if it's
think it's
true.
around 22. If I'm not mistaken.
That's Black Friday weight.
Really?
Oh yeah, Black Friday is light, and you got a little tiny Pat driving it.
Wow.
That's an NRC car. That's a very nice car. Black Friday does extremely well for what combination they have.
Oh, I can't find the Schaefer's oil one. Crap.
That's right. You know what you got to do tomorrow? Put a post up with all the different wraps that you've had over the last designs over the last year.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely on my phone. But a lot of
Yeah.
times I
Put a
don't save
post
it to
up.
my computer.
Yeah. Put a post up with the different wraps and put that out there, and then tag the guy that does the nitro fish guy, and let us all bombard him with how we want to see these Novas next year.
Scotty says I need a HPT turbochargers wrap.
Hey, you know what? Your guy can do it. That's for sure.
Yep.
Scotty reach out to Lewis, and man, look at that nitro fish wrap. Dude, he said that to me on my phone a couple days ago. And what did I tell you when we were talking? I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that's
Man,
badass.
I'm trying to see. Oh, here we go. Oh no, never mind. That's not it. Um,
Scotty, get that wrap done, man, and get your car wrapped like man, that would be badass.
oh, man,
HPT might even help pay for it. You never
I'm
know.
so mad that. Oh, I know where to find it. Hold on 1 second here.
Hey, you know what though? You can't start the live by telling us that Elise was supposed to be on there, but we got Ricky instead.
Oh man, hold on 1 second.
And I'd much rather look at her than me. Trust me.
Um, there's one wrap that I do have. Um, I'm still working on the deal, so I don't want to release it. But man, the car is badass. Um, uh,
And HVT, I mean, I think they have their logos got blue and some other things. I think that would look. You could have a really badass wrap. And the guy that does it is pretty talented.
here
You
we
know, a
go.
lot of things that people don't realize too. A lot of reasons why race teams go at wraps is because paint is heavy.
Oh yeah,
Paint is extremely heavy, and the wraps are not. The wraps aren't so much cheaper than what a paint job is, but painting is quite a bit heavier than a wrap.
I don't know if I'll be able to add this here. Let's see if it can do a PDF. No, it can't. Oh, hold on. It's a PDF file, so I have to like make it into a picture file.
Well above my pay grade, man. I'm pretty dumb when it comes to computers. I got to call Jared and Eric and say,
I
how
could
do I
do this real
change this?
quick.
How do I change this boost ramp again?
Oh no, no, this is easy. I could do this in like 2 seconds. Watch. Uh, save as. Let's see here.
I was watching Sicario before the live started. That's the name of my car now, Sicario. It's one of my favorite movies.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it.
There's two of them. The first one's the best one.
Boom.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Alan, how do you turn that down? That's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the nitro fish is better.
Yeah, the nitro fish is pretty wild.
Yeah, you see two of those cars at the track, it's gonna grab a crowd.
Let me see here. I have another one.
Well, don't put the one up that I'm thinking you're going to put up.
Which one?
That one. You know which one.
Uh,
Is that the one you're putting up?
no, it's another Schaefer's one.
Oh. No, I meant the other one. The original one.
No, not putting up that one.
My little
Um,
Frenchie is coming up to me and like nudging me. He has to go out in a minute.
That's all right. We'll end this soon after I show this
I don't
render
know if
here.
you can see it. See that in the background? It's my 10-year-old's. It's a teepee, but we made a Christmas tree out of it. So all the presents go inside the teepee.
Oh man.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
But if I don't take this little shit out, he'll go poop in the teepee. Won't you?
Here's another
Freaking.
one.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. Did Alan
They,
ever see this?
yeah, Alan saw all of them, but it's really
You
not
know,
Alan's decision. Alan's more of a sales rep.
yeah, I
Um,
know, I know.
so they do have, Schaefer's Oil has a marketing director, and it's up to her. So um, yeah, I would agree. Getting large sponsors in grudge racing isn't easy. Hard to gauge ROI. That don't like the boards and we're spectators with no cars. My approach is a little different. My approach is not about, hey, look at um, the performance of the vehicle. And again, that's what a lot of racers don't understand about sponsorship.
Well, and
It's
we're and we're
it's
and we're 85% no time shootout racers, not grudge racers.
right. Um,
A little bit of a
a-
difference.
yeah, a little bit of a difference, but my approach is not, hey, look how fast my car is. My approach is, I have an audience, right?
Mhm.
And I'm going to give you access to that audience, and I'm going to help you be an influencer for your brand to sell more product. It's not about racers. A lot of racers think it's about, oh, I need to win more to get more sponsors. Dude,
Think about this too. Look at big
I didn't win a fucking race till 2022,
23, 22. Yeah.
something like that. I didn't win one heads up race, and I had sponsors before that. My approach is
Well,
way different. You don't need to win races to get sponsors. You
this is
need
the
to
thing
approach it
too.
as a
You look
marketer.
at Big Jake's race. Look how extremely ex, um, successful that race was with the amount of spectators and live feeds
Yes.
and videos and YouTube hits and everything else at Big Jake's race. 100% no time, no boards lit, nothing like that. Imagine the sponsorship money that could be had for the sponsors for something like that if it's done 2 or 3 times a year, right?
Exactly. I'm sure now he's going to have tons of sponsors wanting to get in on that
Oh,
because the
100%.
sponsors want that crowd. They want those
Look at
fans.
look at the YouTube hits that the Fletcher Cox and Justin Swanstrom video got. That was NHRA had nothing on that race. You know
Well,
what I mean? If it wasn't for TV for NHRA, so no one goes to those races.
did you see Toyota's pulling out an NHRA?
Yeah, yeah.
That's millions and millions of sponsorship dollars gone. You
And,
know,
and listen, I don't want to see any racing whatever die at all. I don't want to see any of it. Any series is what the world's looking for. I
right.
don't want to see any, and especially NHRA, which is one of the leaders in racing. But you got to evolve with the times, right? You got to change the times. And Big Jake, he's going to have tons of people knocking on his door.
Yep.
Because that race was incredibly promoted, incredibly huge, and the amount of YouTube videos and hits and stuff that it got was unbelievable.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that, and not to argue with Motor City, I'm not arguing Motor City induction at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, look at that and compare that, or even, like Mike Hills is growing like crazy. You
Yes.
know, so
Yep.
there is a market for no time racing. People they know fast when they see fast. You don't have to like the board to see it.
Yep. I agree. But yeah,
Lewis, I
man,
gotta take this little dog out.
no problem, man. This was a great show. I didn't think we were going to talk for almost 2 hours, but it was a great
Yeah,
conversation.
I should have been in bed like an hour and a half ago.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yep,
Um,
yep, of course.
and I'm sure we'll talk on the phone tomorrow. All
Absolutely. I'll talk to you later. See ya.
right. Sayonara, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, we'll probably be doing a show at PRI. Me and Alyssa are still trying to work out the details. So just be on the lookout for that. So for those of you that are not going to PRI, I think we're going to try to give you a live perspective of like what's out there and things like that. So Again, thank you again for joining me tonight, and we'll see you later.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.